G'day, I'm Mark from Self-Sufficient Me, and in this video I want to share with you my 5 most important reasons why you should grow your own food, and why if you grow at least something to eat, it could be one of the best decisions you've ever made in your life. Let's get into it. Now these are all significant reasons, but I'm going to list them in order from 5 to 1, with number 1 being what I deem as the most important. So let's get started. Number 5, save money. Have you noticed the climb in fresh food prices lately? Yeah, so have I. Here in Oz, you can pay $3.50 for an avocado, $30 a kilo for ginger, or $5 for a packet of salad, for goodness sake. Salad! And I don't reckon it's going to get any better either. With the cost of energy skyrocketing, producing fresh food and getting it to the people is very expensive. So in the end, the consumer pays. Personally, to me, the future looks unstable. Don't get me wrong, I'm not forecasting the apocalypse, but I'm concerned about how useless our politicians and bureaucrats are at curbing the cost of living and keeping the economy fair for everyone. I don't have faith in the system any longer. Growing your own food is way cheaper than buying it from the supermarket. Sure, initially there can be some setup costs if you want a raised bed garden or buying a grafted fruit tree, but you get that back pretty quickly. For example, an orange tree might cost $30 to buy, but in a few years you're harvesting dozens of fruit. You can buy a packet of carrot seed containing 2,000 seeds for only $2.50 and grow so many carrots you'd make Bugs Bunny proud. Once you establish your food garden, you can then start saving your own seeds and save even more coin, plus less visits to the shops to buy food is more money in your pocket. And if the apocalypse does come, well, at least you'll have something to eat. Number 4, GYO. Growing your own is easy and educational. Some people shy away from growing their own food because they think that it's too complicated and demanding work, but that's not true. There's a good reason why people get hooked on food gardening, and it's the surprise they get when they realize how easy it is. So then they become drawn into experimenting with other crops. The more they learn, the more they grow, and the more success they have generates a sow and reap the rewards kind of culture that's difficult to put into words, but I urge you to give it a go so you can understand what I mean. I love seeing schools give practical lessons and showing kids where their food comes from, like a veggie patch in the back of the schoolyard somewhere. There are not many things more important in life than food. I mean, without it, we die. So to teach, respect and educate people about food is vital. We can do the same to educate ourselves and others through growing our own fruit and veg, one small garden bed or fruit tree at a time, especially since it's really not too hard to do. Number 3, environment. Most people seem concerned about the environment, and rightly so, but sadly the best most of us can do is separate the recyclables from the throwaways on garbage collection day, or give donations to so-called green organisations. I've got a really simple solution that actually does do a lot of good, and that's growing your own food. Make a real difference. Grow your own food that doesn't require transport costs, plastic packaging, pesticides resulting in the deaths of millions of animals, and damage to the environment around us. We can do it. Number 2, health. Build a road and they will come. Grow your own food and they will eat it. Not only that, but gardening is awesome exercise, so you can get fit and grow healthy food at the same time. People, particularly children, are more likely to eat healthy fruit and veg if they've grown it themselves. Plus, homegrown food produced organically is safer to eat. Yes, I've heard the argument that food sprayed with pesticides, according to regulations, is perfectly fine to eat. But how do we really know that our governments, bureaucrats and authorities are actually doing the checking that's required. We don't. Just over the past 2 weeks, 4 people here in Australia died from contaminated rock melons. This is unacceptable. Did you know that some supermarket food undergoes radiation treatment before sale? It's true. They radiate food to kill or make sterile any pests or nasties in or on the produce. Now, the authorities say radiated food is perfectly fine to eat. Really? What if Joe Blow, operating the radiation machine, just happens to have a bad day? We could end up eating Chernobyl cucumbers for Fukushima's sake. Luckily, avocados can't be radiated because of the oils in the fruit, so at least it's safe from that. However, unlike this fruit, avocados in the store can be pesticide and fungicide dipped before they're put on the supermarket shelf. Speaking of avocados, let's get into the final and most important reason why you should grow your own fruit and veg at home, and that's number 1, taste. Now this avocado here, it can't be picked too early, because if it's picked too early, the fruit will just shrivel up and not ripen correctly. See, some fruit, like avocados, have an inbuilt mechanism to prevent it from being picked too early and eaten too early before it's ready and full of those beautiful sugars that make it taste so great. Unfortunately, many other fruits can ripen after picking, and if they are picked too early, they taste bland or at best not as good. By the way, you might be thinking, why not list health as number 1 instead of taste? Because after all, isn't good health the most important thing? And you've got a good point. And the truth is, health and taste are very close. But the reason I chose taste as number 1 was this. If you don't enjoy what you're eating, you won't eat as much of it. Yeah, I know, many of us stomach food we don't like because we know it's good for us. However, wouldn't it be better to eat food that's not only good for us, but we also like? Supermarket produce is often grown for looks over taste. Fast grown, good keeping qualities, picked when green and harder for better transportation, placed in storage for lengthy periods, and kept at low temperatures when they often shouldn't be. Tomatoes are a classic example. Supermarkets often keep tomatoes in cold storage so they last longer before they can put them out on the supermarket shelf. So they get rid of old stock and then they bring in their new stock. But tomatoes hate the cold, and if kept in cold storage, don't taste as good because the structure breaks down. When taken out of the fridge, tomatoes perish faster and develop that white mold, which you never see on homegrown tomatoes, no matter how long they sit on the kitchen bench. In my opinion, one of the main reasons why people are eating less fresh food these days is due to it not tasting like it should, or like it used to. And if you don't believe me, grow your own tomato, carrot, banana, beans, etc., and then compare it to the supermarket variety, and you'll see the difference in taste. And whatever you do, if you grow your own tomatoes at home, don't store them in the fridge. Well, that's it. Those were my 5 most important reasons why you should grow your own food at home. Now, I know there's lots more, and if you can think of some, whack them down in the comments section below, because I'm sure we'll all enjoy reading them. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. Also, share this video around and give it a big green thumbs up. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now. Oh my goodness. Homegrown tomatoes stored outside on the plant. Cheers.